Living with African parents has got to be one of the most traumatic things ever. If you have foreign parents of any kind, I know you know. I wasn't allowed to do shit. I wasn't allowed to do anything, bruh. And during the time of the story, which was like my sophomore year of high school, so I had just turned 16, I think. My dad had just left the country for a little vacation. Nick was back in Nigeria, and he was gonna be in Nigeria for the entire month of December. So I was like, yo, shenanigans ensue, please, it's time. And for context also, my mother works all night type because, you know, night nurse, no Daredevil, no, what was her name? Rosario Dawson on Daredevil. What was her name? Shit. It's been a minute. Anyway, the kicker though is that she doesn't work every day of the week. So I really have to like time my shit out, you know, perfectly. Like I used to sneak into her room and like look at her schedule and see which days she was working, and I would like write it down in my phone. Like I was very methodical in my shenanigans. And I was on timing this whole month too because, bruh, I had too many kickbacks, and during one of them, we had to do these wild-ass dares. And it was either do the dare or drink this horrible-ass concoction of, like, we put Marmite, milk, ketchup, mustard, all into a cup. We stirred it up, do the dare, or drink that. And the dares, bruh, the dares were on some, like, stupid shit. Like, we had niggas doing cartwheels and making pregnancy scare videos, bruh. I actually still have that pregnancy scare video on my phone, too. The homie had to tell his whole Snap story that he fucked up and was having a baby on the way. It was, like, a really somber video, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's kind of wild. The whole point of that is that I was trying to take full advantage of not having parents at home at night during this whole month. You know, I was trying to make the month of December goated. I had to use the most of this opportunity. Until wasn't goated. Like everything was goated until it wasn't goated, which is where today's story comes into play. So this was literally a random ass Wednesday night, and my mom had just left for work, and I hit up my homies Christy, Toby, and Cammy like an hour before my mother had left. And I was like, yo, let's link. I'm about to have a free crib. You know, come scoop me. I didn't have a license or a car at this point, so I needed the homie Christy to come pick me up. So the moment my mother leaves for work, like almost immediately after, I hit up Christy. You know, I'm like, I'm ready, over. And Christy comes like 5 minutes later and scoops me, and we go to the homie Toby's crib. And like it was literally 5 minutes later because she lived like right down the street. So we get to Toby's crib, and this basement is nuts. There's hella arcade machines. There's this game where you get a little like ring inside of the hook, and it's attached to a string, and you like drop the thing down and it's supposed to get into the hook. Like I'm really bad at describing this but it was fun as and this had a pool table. This had everything in this basement. And of course, he had broccoli. At this point in my life, Toby, Christy, and Cammy were like the people I knew who were like the most familiar with broccoli. So of course, this Toby had broccoli on him. So we're getting ready to have some broccoli. Also, if you don't know what broccoli is, you're lacking. Check the vocab. Come on now. Context clues also. Don't sleep. So we're getting ready to have some broccoli, and then my cousin who was living with me at the time, damn, you know when your like throat gets really dry out of nowhere? Anyway, and then my cousin who was living with me at the time texts me and is like, hey yo, your mom just came back. They called her off from work. And I was like, hey, what? I started shitting my pants immediately. My heart sank like past my ass cheeks, bruh. Not only was I not allowed to go to people's houses, but I also could not smell like broccoli, or I would literally perish frame one. It would be over for me. So I'm like, hey niggas, I'm fucked. I'm actually royally fucked. And everyone starts panicking, and I'm like, fuck. What do I do? What do I do? I need a story quick as shit. I need to come up with something. So I text my older brother and I tell him everything that's happening. And he's like, oh, I'm actually out right now. So then boom, the light bulb goes off in both of our brains at the same time, and we're like, okay, we have to come back at the same time together in the same car and just tell mom that we went out somewhere, because I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why, but like with African parents, the older sibling has a little more lenience. Emphasis on a little more, because that was still in hell, bruh. They literally told that to abandon his dreams and like change his majors. Story for another day though. Then he drops the call, and I just have to wait for this to pick me up. And like the time between me waiting at Toby's house and this coming to pick me up was the most stressful ever. I was just in my brain. I like regressed into my head, and I was just thinking of every bad thing that could happen. I was in panic mode. I was in full panic mode. But like, see, I try to panic silently. Usually it doesn't work, but like everybody could tell that I was like tweaking. Like, niggas weren't even gone yet. Like, we didn't even have any broccoli yet, and I was already tweaking. But eventually, this nigga picks me up, and we get home, and we formulate the greatest story of all time. And she's like, all right, cool. I don't even remember what we said. I think I said that, like, we got, like, food or something, or we were, like, at his college or something. I don't even remember. But this very possibly could have been the end for me. I've had so many close calls living with them. It is insane. I used to have broccoli in the bathroom late at night after they went to bed type shit, and I would do the absolute most to hide everything with the quickness whenever I heard footsteps. I was on top of it. Living with African parents, I swear, like, it trains you on some espionage shit. Like, it is insane. And what's even more insane is that, like, lying to them was, like, it became easy. But, like, I'm still a liar to everybody else. It doesn't make sense. Like, all of my brain power and all of the, like, the entire lying skill tree just only goes to my parents. It's insane. But anyway, don't try any of this at home. If you do, record that shit. Record that shit. Record that shit. You think it's bad that I say that at the end? Like, I'm kind of wondering, what if somebody actually does some shit, like some really stupid shit, and they recorded it and they send it to me, and I'm like, oh man, you weren't supposed to actually do this. I'm not gonna worry about that yet, because it's like, you know, who cares? Anyway, don't try any of this at home. If you do, record this shit.
I need some Cartier shade with the shutters to block out the pain when I please. I write on my songs of a bad I love. I tatted her name on my sleeve. I be missing the mama, my mother, that shit. It brings my heart to my sleeve. I'm a lover, but under this label of thugger, my nigga, how many more times I go grieve?